Welcome to another guitar vacation inception where I watch my doppelganger practice and talk about it. Um, just real quick, this stems from uh, a commenter on some of my videos has actually been really helpful in providing a very useful criticism. And sometimes criticism and hearing the things that are hard to hear are what we need to get better, and that's uh, part of what I want this channel to be about, is musicians helping each other get better. People commenting and helping me get better, and anybody that can watch in the videos and join in the discussions that can also benefit and get better. So that being said, I was presented specifically about my practice routine and how I'm not doing anything that specifically addresses my rhythm and my rhythm playing, really. I always use the metronome during any practice, and on my practice routine video, I didn't record the click because I thought it would be kind of grating on the ears. But, still, if you look at it, yeah, I'm practicing a lot of technique and I am using the metronome for timing, but I don't have anything that is specifically getting down to the nitty gritty of playing rhythm with chords and stuff like that. So I've actually added a second practice session to my day. My normal routine that I've already posted, I do that first thing every morning. I get up an hour early or more to do that practice routine, and I've also started doing a specific rhythm practice routine after work, which is usually 30 minutes to an hour. It's not mentally as taxing because I'm not trying to dig into the musical brain of doing a lot of challenging harmonic stuff, but I am trying to robotically be rhythmically accurate, and it's turned out to be a good time to do that practice. So we'll switch in back to the guitar inception, and what I'm doing first is using the metronome on the 2 and 4 and doing just a jazz blues bass line, like a walking bass line going through the jazz blues changes. Using the metronome on the 2 and 4 is something I picked up a long time ago. It can be challenging if you've never done it, but it's supposed to help you swing a little bit, encourage your swing, really placing the emphasis on those 2 and 4 beats. So it's something I do sometimes, and this jazz blues bass line is a good time to use that method. And next we're gonna go into just kind of some rhythm playing that has a little bit of a riff bass line entry, and then does some chords, really just different versions or inversions of E dominant 7 or E9. And it's actually kind of inspired by the Lemon song, the Led Zeppelin tune. But it's, I'm not going through changing to A and the blues changes and all that. But I'm specifically trying to stick with the click, and I'm playing different little inversions of E7, but really the point is to try to do it accurately with the click. and even something like this where I'm basically kind of doing the James Brown riding a dominant seventh chord. That is a something you can take for granted as a player, and I did notice that now that I've recorded one of these practice sessions and watched it, that sometimes I may not be as dead on as I want to be with the click, and that's what makes this tool so useful. So I will probably continue to do that maybe once every couple of weeks, actually record one of those practice sessions to see if I'm getting better or where I'm falling short. And this exercise, well, I don't know that you call it exercise, but here I've been playing with minor 2-5-1s, and this is me trying to kind of riff in that chordal structure framework, and also obviously trying to do it rhythmically and throw the chords and the progression in there some. And the reason I'm doing this is, I've already had a video about me taking lessons from Brian Baker, and this is something we talked about in my last lesson, and I'm not putting out any of his secrets. He's actually got a podcast that talks about this, but a riff, the actual riff is something that is kind of inherent to guitar players. You don't hear other musicians talk about playing a riff, and most guitar player quirks are not helpful in playing, trying to elevate your musicianship. We're notorious as guitar players for doing it our own guitar way, but since we do have that inherent ability to riff, and that means something to all guitar players, we all know what riffs are. Brian uses that to say, hey, a riff is something that's rhythmic. It establishes a motif, and it's something that you're familiar with as a guitar player. So you can use that and start thinking of it as starting your solos with what you would consider to be a riff, and really trying to use that to add the compositional aspect of your improvised solos. And just a really cool way of approaching something that we have as guitar players and using it to a musical end, and to a good musical end. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, doing the minor 2-5-1 and trying to kind of have a little creative rhythmic riff mixed in with it. And again, it's definitely interesting to watch back when you're saying, hey, I'm intentionally trying to practice something that is focusing on rhythm, and you look and sometimes you're not as in pocket with the click, or I'm speaking as me, I'm watching and seeing, hey man, you're not as in the pocket sometimes, and what a powerful tool. So this is a practice session that I'm going to be doing every day after work. And usually I'm a morning person. That's why I do my main guitar practice in the morning. And I do that, and all my physical exercise stuff. I try to always do that in the morning, and that's because after work, man, I'm mentally taxed. I'm tired, and if you're a personality type that gets after it, whether it be guitar playing, musicianship, or your job, you should be mentally taxed and tired when you get home. And sometimes I get off on time, sometimes I don't. But either way, when I do get off, I'm usually, kind of ready to relax and go to bed fairly early. But adding this is a good example of, if you prioritize something, in this case, my advancement on the guitar, you are going to have to sacrifice something else in your life if you're busy like me, to be able to do that. And in this case, I'm not just hitting the recliner after work and watching kung fu movies. I'm doing a practice that's strictly geared around rhythm. Now, that being said, I'm not getting off work and digging a ditch. So it's not like, I'm doing something super hard. And like I said, it's really not as mentally taxing as some of my other practice, but it's something you have to make your mind up and do. And just me adding that extra hour, I think I've been doing it for a couple weeks. I feel like I've definitely am already getting some positive effect from it. So I fully intend to keep doing it, and I by doing this video have really realized the value of recording it to evaluate it also, and that allows you to see when you're not up to your performance isn't where you thought it was, or what specifically you may need to address. So definitely something I'll continue, and that's what I wanted to talk about on this edition of Guitar Vacation. So I hope you have your opportunity to practice and enjoy your practice and address the things that you want to address to get where you want to be as a player during your own guitar vacation. Talk to you soon. Later.